What is up, guys, and welcome back to Danny Reacts. We're having an amazing day today, guys, and today we're going to go the top 10 creepiest abandoned places in the world, in the entire world. That's so creepy, and like they're abandoned for a reason. And I heard stories where like people go into like abandoned places and some spooky stuff goes down. But we're going to see the top 10 most creepy abandoned places in the entire world. So let's go check it out. Give this video a biggest thumbs up, and thank you for 120,000 subscribers. That's amazing. And let's go check it out. And I would suggest to never go into an abandoned place.
We're about to go places where no one has lived for a very long time.
No.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today
like
we're counting down our picks for the top 10 creepiest abandoned places around the world.
Now the base is almost empty, as most of its equipment was looted in the 1990s after it was deserted.
For this list,
That's
we've
pretty
uncovered
creepy.
the strangest
random shit.
abandoned spots on the planet.
Located in China's far eastern Zhejiang province, divers are busy exploring the underwater remains of an ancient city.
Whoa.
Number 10. Krakow,
That's
Italy.
cool.
Though
That's
there
cool.
are other examples of abandoned Italian places,
It is kinda
like the
creepy,
old center
but,
of
like, that's
Palestrino,
cool.
the medieval settlement of Krakow, founded around 540
Krakow.
AD, is one of the most noteworthy. Situated in southern Italy, Krakow had two separate districts and a population of over 2,000 people at its height. A university
2,000
was even
people.
established in the late 13th century.
That's actually
However,
so cool.
Krakow's history is also littered with troubles, including a devastating plague in 1656
Okay,
and
never mind.
civil upheaval throughout the 1800s.
Damn.
A series of natural disasters and geological issues like a landslide in 1963 finally proved the final straw. After the Irpinia earthquake of 1980, Krakow was fully abandoned, and now it's most known as a film set where scenes from films like The Passion of the Christ and Quantum of Solace were
That's
shot.
awesome.
Number 9.
Okay, honestly, that is creepy because like people lived there before, and now it's like completely deserted. So that's like kind of creepy.
Hotel del Salto, Colombia. What was once one of Colombia's most exclusive hotels is now one of its spookiest spots. The mansion of Tequendama Falls was originally built by the architect Carlos Arturo Tapias in 1923
That's awesome.
and converted
I like
into
the
a
name.
luxury guest house in 1928. It
Okay.
boasted immaculate views of the falls,
Ooh.
and there were plans to extend it to a hotel of 18 floors. However,
That's
those
sick.
plans were never realized as water pollution problems in the Bogota River turned the once serene setting into an unsightly one.
No.
Ultimately, the building was abandoned in the 90s. Furthermore, as the falls are a noted suicide spot, the Hotel del Salto, also known as Tequendama Falls Hotel, is said to be haunted. It
There's a
plays host
suicide
to the
spot right
Tequendama
there.
Falls Museum now, which shows the change from deluxe to dilapidated. Number 8. The
That's
Monsell
creepy.
Forts, England. Built during World War II as a last line of defense against Germany, the Monsell Forts were never intended to last. The science fiction-like structures rising from the River Thames and
That does look
Mersey
pretty cool.
estuaries were decommissioned in the 1950s. But while some succumbed to the sea or were dismantled, most remain intact. Some of the technology used in the fort's construction
Looks pretty cool.
was applied post-war to build offshore drilling stations. And during the 1960s, these structures were home to pirate radio stations.
My aim is not
Pirate
to
radio
offend,
station.
it is to entertain.
The Red Sand Towers are perhaps
Honestly, it
the
looks
best known
like
of
so
all the
cool,
bases,
though.
and today there is an ongoing project to restore them.
Dope.
In fact, one
Do it.
proposal even suggests converting them into luxury apartments. For now, however, there
Why would you want to get an apartment in the middle of like the ocean? That's, I don't know.
are few more eerily
my thing.
isolated places on the planet.
Part of the interest for me is these were designed to last the war, and that was it.
Number 7. Bodie, USA.
This is the main street of Bodie. It used to be 2 miles long from stem to stern.
Oh, that's like the thing in, like,
with
all
a
the
racetrack at
movies.
one end and
Like the
Chinatown
random
at the
town
other.
like in the middle
As
of
a
the
mining
desert.
boomtown built in the California gold rush in the late 1850s, Bodie's best years were between 1877 and 1880, when
That
the
was a long time
population
ago.
peaked at approximately 7,000 people. It was the archetypal Wild West town. Its mile-long main street played host to saloon brawls, shootouts, and stagecoach holdups. With a jail, bank, railroad, and union hall, it was the model of an Old West movie set. Miners began to relocate in the
That's cool.
1880s, however, and by 1910, less than 700 people lived there. When the last gold mine was closed in 1942, Bodie essentially became a ghost town. Today, it's
That's
preserved
spooky.
as a National Historic Landmark. The buildings remain unchanged, but the streets are deserted. Number 6, the Aral Sea Ship Graveyard, Kazakhstan and
Graveyard?
Uzbekistan.
That's creepy.
Situated between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, the Aral Sea was once the 4th largest lake in the world. Now, it's the setting for an ultra-eerie graveyard of ships.
Yeah.
The sea has been shrinking ever since the 1960s, when 2 major rivers flowing
That's
into
so
the lake
cool,
were
though.
diverted
It's like a
as
random
part of
ship.
Soviet irrigation schemes.
Where we're standing right now used to be many meters underwater.
Today, less
Global
than 10%
warming.
of the original lake remains. The decaying boats are a rusty reminder of the thriving fishing industry that once existed on Aral shores. There are tentative plans to redevelop the Aral Sea, but it seems all but impossible for it to regain its former
That's so
vastness.
cool, though.
Some people
It's kind of
believe
cool, but like it
that
also
the
is kind of
sea
creepy.
will return. Others insist that it will not.
Either way, these particular vessels are definitely not fit for action anymore.
Yeah.
Number 5, Kolmanskop, Namibia.
It almost looks like a Hollywood set, but this is a real ghost town.
Set within the desolate landscapes of the Namib
There's
Desert,
something so creepy about
Kolmanskop
ghost
was built
towns.
when diamonds were discovered there in 1908. It was one of the
1908.
most lucrative spots on the planet at one point, accounting for over 10% of the world's total diamond production.
While the money rolled in, they built grand houses and lived a champagne lifestyle in the desert.
The town itself was
Gold
hurriedly
holes.
built under German administration. As a result, its buildings all mimic European architecture, with the local pub and Skittle Alley reportedly the busiest spot. However, when even richer diamond deposits were discovered elsewhere in 1928, Kolmanskop quickly declined. The
Aw.
last families moved out in 1956, and the desert has been steadily reclaiming the settlement ever since. The effect might be described as an
That's so sad.
anti-oasis. There really was a desert paradise here at one time, but not anymore.
This house
It was such a
acts
different
as a
time.
natural
I would love to
wind
live in, like,
block,
the middle of
so
the
that the
desert.
sand that comes in through the windows and doors accumulates here.
Number
Whoa.
4, Xichun,
Yeah,
China.
it sucks.
Widely dubbed China's Atlantis, Xichun is one of the most inaccessible of today's abandoned places because it's entirely submerged in water.
1,000 years ago, the streets were lit, and our people did not have to scavenge for food at the edge of a crumbling city.
Xichun, which translates to Lion City, was built between 1400 and 2000
So
years
Atlantis
ago,
is actually
but was
real.
purposefully flooded in 1959 to create Tiandao Lake. When divers rediscovered the city several decades later,
That's
experts
sick.
and tourists marveled at how immaculately it had been preserved.
Look how beautiful those carvings are in the wall. It's so nice. Atlantis is real.
Now, undisturbed and up to 131 feet below water, it offers a unique diving experience. There are even plans to build an inverted bridge for the city, otherwise known as a submerged floating tunnel, to give more people
I
a
would
chance
love
to
that.
get an underwater glimpse without the need of
That's
a wetsuit.
so cool. I
underwater
would love
city.
that, actually. They should do that.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Number 3,
Fascinating,
Gukanjima,
isn't it?
Japan. Officially known as Hashima Island, Gukanjima is commonly known as Battleship Island, thanks to its ominous appearance. Located 10
Battleship
miles
Island.
from Nagasaki, Gukanjima quickly became a symbol for Japanese industrialization due to its undersea coal mines. But
That's
it also
dope.
gained notoriety before and during World War II as a brutal labor camp where Korean and Chinese workers endured extremely harsh conditions.
Oh, that
Population
sucks then.
peaked
Never
in
mind, that's bad.
1959 when over 5,000 people lived on the 16-acre stretch of land before the mine was closed in 1974.
The sense of danger that gets you because everything is crumbling and falling down, and then mixed in with the curiosity of what life was at this place.
Travel to Gukanjima reopened in 2009,
Gukanjima.
allowing
Gukanjima.
tourists to visit the decrepit site, which had lain deserted for 35 years. There's now
Alright,
an
that's kinda creepy.
otherworldly feel to the place, as one that had once housed thousands of people and
Yeah.
now hosts plenty
That's the
of
creepy thing. Like,
ghosts.
a lot
Number
of people
2,
live there one time.
Bielitz-Heilstätten, Germany.
Here, there was medical advice in an almost upper-class atmosphere.
The 60-building sanatorium at Bielitz-Heilstätten was
Ooh.
built in 1898.
That's like the spookiest place I've ever seen. Like, that would be like a good like horror movie set. You know what I mean?
but was converted into a German military hospital during World War I. The site's most infamous moment came in 1916, when a young Adolf Hitler arrived having been injured in the Battle of the Somme
Whoa.
and was treated for a wound to his leg. The Soviet Red Army took control of the complex following World War II. However, most of the site was abandoned
creepy.
by 2000, left
Hitler went
to
to that
rot
hospital.
and succumb to the surrounding foliage. Rusting hospital beds, discarded surgery tables, and decaying corridors combine for an incredibly haunting atmosphere, not least because Bielitz will always be the place that helped Hitler get back on his feet. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
1984 Winter Olympics bobsled. Dude, that's such a cool hotel. That's a cool hotel. That's a nice castle in Belgium.
Number 1. Pripyat, Ukraine. Following a massive explosion at reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant on April 26, 1986, the city of Pripyat was evacuated, with many of its 49,000 population already experiencing headaches, nausea, and dizziness. The largely unknown threat of radiation poisoning created an 18-mile exclusion zone, which remains to this day. The city exists exactly as it was left, down to open textbooks in the classrooms and set tables in the restaurants.
That's the creepy thing,
What's left is a city-sized ghost town with a harrowing past, while iconic images of the ruined Ferris wheels serve as a constant reminder of the dangers involved with nuclear power. There's no other abandoned place quite like this one. Do you agree with our list? Which abandoned place have we yet to find? For more entirely unpopulated top 10s published every day.
I love that castle. Wish we had more of those castles in North America. We probably do, but like in the city where I'm from, there's no castle like that. And like I want to live in a castle. That looks so dope, man. But anyway, these are the top 10 creepiest abandoned places. And I thought they were more cool than creepy. I don't know about you guys, but I thought like a lot of things were like really cool. The creepy part of it though is that people like once lived there. That's like the creepy part in like my opinion. Especially if someone died like in like that hotel, in that hospital, in that whatever. That's really creepy to me because somebody died like in that room that you are in. It's just very creepy. And yeah, that was the top 10 creepiest abandoned places. Leave me a comment down below which one was your favorite. My favorite one was like the abandoned town in like the middle of the desert. That was really cool to me. And yeah, if you want to see the full link video, description down below. If you want me to react to any of your videos, leave me a comment down below with your video and I'll go check it out. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for watching, guys.